Well, we got some leaves coming down. You know what that means. Time to play with some giant vacs. So, haven't started them since last fall. Figure we'll try a little cold start and see how many pulls it takes the old Briggs and Strattons to start up on. Now, show you guys the best part of giant vacs. Number one, look where the Briggs and Strattons made. Made in USA. Number two, giant vac was made in South Windham, Connecticut. And that's another plus. This one here is a relatively new one. It's maybe a 1997, I think. What it says on here, wear eye, breathing, and ear protection. I never noticed that label until today. I topped it off with gas. I checked the oil. We're gonna do a cold start. It hasn't been started since probably last December, and it's the middle of October right now, so it's 10.5 months. So let's see how many pulls it takes to start this thing. All right, let's turn on the gas line over here. That's step one. And then we'll give it some throttle. These like full throttle when they start. And we'll put the choke on. And the question is it gonna be a one pull wonder or what? All right, let's see, here we go. Well, we got ideal leaf blowing conditions. We got big maple trees and very dried leaves. They blow nice. Let's set this up and give you guys a little show here on how awesome the 8-horse giant vac works. Well, thing is awesome. I had a little problem with the wind blowing against me. If you blow leaves, you know the wind is your biggest enemy. Right here is your second biggest enemy, sticks. You get sticks in your pile, makes it really hard to blow it, but nice fluffy maple leaves, perfect. All right, time to dig this bad boy here out of there. We're gonna tow it out with the 8163B and see what we got. All right, so we dragged it out of the woods, and I had to put some air in the tires in the tractor here. It's kind of funny, but years ago in the winter, I put a tarp over it, and there's plastic on the muffler. You know, the tarp had hit the muffler and melted to it. And years later, every time I run it, it smells like burning plastic still, which is kind of funny. But it looks like our friend Fluffy was here too, by the way. So this thing hasn't been started since last year either. I believe I ran it dry on gas. But the first thing we gotta do is take all the stuff out of the back here. The hose is in there and all that junk, I believe. Let's see, yep, all kinds of crap. So let me get all that out. That's step one before we can start it. If you got a bagger today, you got a plastic thing that goes on the deck, man. This sucker is metal, bro. Solid as a rock, welded. USA. All right, we got this Intech Briggs on this turd. One of those newfangled overhead valve jobbers. So topped off the oil. I think the gas tank is on. Yeah, when it's straight up, it's on, I believe. No, that's off. Got to turn it 90 degrees to let it into the fuel line. And let's see, it's on full throttle. I put it on choke. This tank was totally empty when I started, so we'll see how many pulls this one takes. I'm kind of thinking that this one's gonna resort to ether or something, but let's see what we got. So, it was a one-pull wonder. I'm shocked. That thing's awesome. I love it. Back in the day, Giant Vac was the gold standard in leaf blowing. You know, back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, they were really the best thing around. And back then, there were no, hurricane vacs like there is today. Nobody had zero turns with powered baggers. All commercial landscape people used Giant Vacs to blow leaves pretty much. And if you didn't, you sucked. So, these are still good blowers. And, guys today all have baggers on their zero turns, suck everything up. If they got huge leaves, they got hurricane blowers. They're not using push blowers anymore, all self-propelled stand-on things. You can look up the Skag Windstorm. That's Skag owns Giant Vac today. They still make push blowers. They're really good. I would love to have a brand new one. But the thing about this equipment is that it sits all year and you use it for like a month, And this big trailer takes a lot of room to store. And, it's just a lot. So you can understand why people don't like it. When I used to mow lawns, I hated leaves because you could never make any money. It took you a long time to do it. People didn't want to pay you to do it. It was more effort, more gas, more time. It was just a big waste. But in personal consumption time here, I love it. Cool. That thing is awesome, man. Just sucked up this whole pile. There's a lot of leaves that were in that pile. We'll go empty this thing. Then we'll mow the lawn with the deck and suck up the rest of this junk. But just a quick little pile suck up makes it a lot easier than mowing through the heavy leaves the whole time. Got a lot of leaves packed in that trailer. Could have fit a little bit more, but it's still a lot. They just grind up real small. Works out really good. The trailer dumps, but it never actually comes out when you dump it. So I like to use just an iron rake like this and pull it out. Well, it works pretty good. Hits the lawn in second gear. Lays down some nice stripes. Got all the leaves out here. Still a lot of leaves to go up here. Doing a little weed whacking now.